So hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Myself Arpan Singh, who has managed to complete 2 years of medical schooling in Ukraine. So in today's session, we will be discussing about the most important topic of biochemistry, the glycolysis pathway, which is also known as the EMP pathway. So let's start. So starting with the main concept, that is starting with the definition of the glycolysis. So what exactly is glycolysis? So glycolysis is the process by which the glucose is taken up by the cell, and that glucose is metabolized and converted to pyruvate, and in the making of pyruvate we get net ATP and NADH also in the reactions. So let's look at the screen and note down the various steps of the glycolysis. Basically the glycolysis includes 10 steps. The 5 steps are the phase 1 reactions and the next 5 steps are the phase 2 reactions. Phase 1 reactions are the reaction in which we need to supply ATP, that is, it is the investment phase, and the phase 2 reaction is the phase in which we can expect the return on investment phase, that is, we get ATP, we gain ATP in the phase 2 reaction and we invest the ATPs in phase 1 reaction. So in the phase 1 reaction we see that glucose is converted to glucose 6-phosphate with the help of enzyme hexokinase. So why glucose is converted to glucose 6-phosphate? Because glucose is very volatile and it can cross the cell membrane easily. So in order to trap the glucose in the cell, within the cell, we convert the glucose, or the cell convert the glucose into the glucose 6-phosphate, and here the enzyme uses hexokinase. Also we note that as phosphate is added and as the organic phosphate is added, so we get this phosphate from the ATP. So ATP is used in this reaction, and as ATP is involved in this reaction, so it is the regulatory step of glycolysis. Second step is the conversion of glucose 6-phosphate to fructose 6-phosphate. So what here happens is the glucose and fructose both are isomers of each other. So isomerase enzyme acts in this process, and the fructose 6-phosphate is converted to glucose 6-phosphate is converted to fructose 6-phosphate. Then the fructose 6-phosphate is converted to fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. The extra 1 phosphate is added at position number 1 in the fructose. So in this reaction also the enzyme will be kinase because ATP is involved. Why ATP is involved? Because here also the phosphate added is organic. So ATP is added and the enzyme name is phosphofructokinase 1, and it is also the irreversible step and it is also the regulatory steps because ATP is involved in this reaction. So ATP involved reactions are regulatory steps, and this step, that is fructose 6-phosphate is converted to fructose 1,6-bisphosphate, is also considered as the first committed step in the glycolysis. Here it is also first committed step in the glycolysis, it should be remembered. And note that I have also written down the EC numbers of various reactions or various enzymes. Enzyme in exams, EC numbers can be asked of any enzymes of any pathway, so we need to remember this also. So in the fourth, the fructose 1,6-bisphosphate is converted to DHAP and glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. So what is DHAP? DHAP is basically ketose sugar, and the aldehyde sugar is glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. So fructose 1,6-bisphosphate, which is a 6-carbon compound, 6 chain compound consisting of 2 phosphate group, is broken down and 3 carbon 2 compounds are formed, and 1 phosphate is attached to each of this carbon chain. So we get 3 2-carbon compounds and phosphate group attached to it, and here the enzyme uses aldolase A. We also should note down that aldolase B is another enzyme which is used in another reactions. Then the fifth reaction is the conversion of DHAP to glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, and this also occurs by the enzyme isomerase because the ketone and the aldehyde both are isomers of each other. So basically what is happening here is the ketone form is converted to the aldehyde form, that is DHAP is converted to glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate form. So these are the 5 steps which are the investing phase, and we supply the ATP here to get the product. Up to this point we have the formation of 2 molecules of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. So now comes the second phase of the reaction, in which we are going to get ATPs and pyruvate and NADH formed. So this is the return on investment phase. So the sixth reaction which occurs here is the 2-glyceraldehyde, the 2,3 carbon compound having one phosphate, that is 2-glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, is converted to 2 molecules of 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate, and here 2 NAD is converted to 2 NADH. So here we get 2 NADH molecules also, and the enzyme used here is glyceraldehyde 3-phosphodehydrogenase. Note that here also phosphate group is added, but here the phosphate group which is added is inorganic, so we do not use ATP here. So easy process or easy way to remember that why we don't use ATP here is that it is the sixth step. So this is the phase 2 reaction step, so we are going to get energy, so we are not going to spend energy here, rather we are going to get some product so that we can further convert it into the ATP. So here we get NADH, 2 molecules of NADH. Now next step is conversion of 2 molecules of 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate to 2 molecules of 3-phosphoglycerate. 2 molecules of 1,3-phosphoglycerate is converted to 2 molecules of 3-phosphoglycerate, giving 2 ATPs. Because 2 molecules of phosphate group, 2 molecules of phosphate was in the reactant side, and the product we get 3-phosphoglycerate and 2 ATPs. And the enzyme used here is phosphoglycerate kinase, EC number is 2. Then comes, also note that the ATP which is released here is the mechanism or the way is by the substrate level phosphorylation way we get the ATPs here. So next step is conversion of 2 molecules of 3-phosphoglycerate to 2 molecules of 2-phosphoglycerate. So what happens here is simply the phosphate group which was present in the third number carbon is positioned to or shifted to the second position carbon. So the enzyme which is used here is phosphoglyceromutase. Mutase enzyme is used here. EC number is 5. Then we have the next step, that is conversion of 2-phosphoglycerate to phosphoenol pyruvate. It is also a 3 carbon compound, and phosphoenol pyruvate means enol means double bond, presence of double bond. So it is this, and the enzyme used here is enolase formation. So enolase enzyme will be forming this compound. The last step is 2-phosphoenol pyruvate is converted to 2-pyruvate, and in this process we get 2 ATPs. Here also we are getting ATP by which mechanism? By the substrate level phosphorylation mechanism. That was all. And also the pyruvate, the end product, that is, if we need to write the whole reaction in just one line, we will write that we have glucose line, then the formation of pyruvate along with the formation of 2 ATPs and 2 NADH. 2 ATPs and 2 NADH. So this was about the end product. This is the aerobic glycolysis, and in case of anaerobic glycolysis, that is when the oxygen is not present, so lactate is formed. Lactate formation occurs, and here the enzyme lactate dehydrogenase acts upon this, and this reaction is also the regulatory steps of the glycolysis. So in the anaerobic glycolysis the lactate is formed, and in case of aerobic glycolysis the pyruvate is formed. So continuing with the last session, what are the energetics and what are the inhibitors of glycolysis? So energetics is simple, because we invest 2 ATPs and we gain 4 ATPs, right? 2 ATPs we gain, that is 2 ATPs we gain in the 10th reaction step, and the 2 ATPs we get from the 7th reaction. We can see here also in the screen also 2 ATPs when 1,3-bis phosphoglycerate is converted to 3-phosphoglycerate, and 2 molecules of phosphoenol pyruvate gives 2 molecules of pyruvate and 2 ATPs also. So 2 ATPs utilized, 4 ATPs again. So net we have 2 ATPs. Also we have the formation of 2 NADH. So in the ETC cycle, that is electron transport chain, the NADH molecules are used up for the generation of ATP. So 1 NADH molecule gives 2.5 ATPs. So 2 will give 5 ATPs. So 2 plus 5 net 7 ATPs. So here also you can see in the screen also I have wrote that 7 ATPs are formed in case of aerobic glycolysis, while in case of anaerobic glycolysis, as ETC cycle won't be working in the anaerobic organisms, so the NADH molecules formed are useless, and no ETC occurs, no electron transport chain occurs, no reduction oxidation occurs in the mitochondria. So we only get 2 ATPs here in case of anaerobic glycolysis. So this was about the energetics, and at last we have the inhibitors of glycolysis. So what are the inhibitors? So inhibitors include the iodoacetate, arsenite. To see this, all these inhibitors inhibits or acts upon only certain enzymes, such as the iodoacetate or arsenite acts upon or disturbs the 6th reaction, that is the conversion of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate to 1,3-bis phosphoglycerate, in which the enzyme used here is glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate dehydrogenase. This enzyme is basically interfered or inhibited. Then we also have like NAF, sodium fluoride, which acts upon the enolase enzyme. Likewise we have oxamate, which acts upon the lactate dehydrogenase enzyme, so the lactic acid formation doesn't occur. Okay, so it was about the inhibitors of glycolysis. So that was pretty much it for this video. If you liked it, then share the video, like the video, and also comment on the video also. It helps us to make more content, more medical content for you. And if you are not yet subscribed, then do subscribe to our channel, and also subscribe to my podcasts also. Link of all will be in the description below. And I have also an Instagram page where I regularly post some of the medical content which I learn, which I found interesting, or anything useful I share over the Instagram. So you can also check my Instagram also. So until next time, see you soon, take care, bye bye.